Well, we're joined this morning by Senator Ayo Arishe, who was a former chairman, Senate Committee on Privatization, and then he was also a member of the Senate Committee on Banking. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure.
What about this matter? Incidentally, your name also popped up. So how come you haven't paid back?
Incidentally, the company in question is not even owing Unity Bank. I think they had a transaction whereby the company supplied them ATM machines, and they took a facility of 12 million naira to clear the machines. So after delivery to the bank was actually owing them 19 point something million naira at that time. So obviously till today, obviously the bank refused to pay.
So it's a question
it's
of the bank is owing them.
Exactly. The bank is actually owing them.
The bank.
No, it's the embarrassing thing about the whole situation. It puts a cloud of doubt on the kind of list they published, and the names, surprisingly, my name and my friend's name popped up for the same amount of fictitious money that was never owed the bank. And it's such a big embarrassment, actually, even to the CBN, because I would imagine that such toxic amount of money would have been verified. I spoke with the MD of the company. He's currently in the US. When he comes back, the documents will be tendered in the court, because it's a great embarrassment. I have not been able to sleep since yesterday. Who have been calling me? I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's not EFCC that's invited me. This is not a crime. So it's a transaction that actually happened, and there was no debt. It's the bank owing the company about 6 to 7 million naira balance on what they used as security was a cash secured facility from the bank. So I don't. I'm bewildered.
Sorry,
and they should even have called.
Senator, let me get this straight.
Yes.
What you're saying is, you did business with the bank.
My company.
Your company did
Yes.
business with the bank, got the goods that they requested.
Yes.
They're owing you a certain amount of money.
Exactly.
But you have not been able to also clear the amount, because it will be on the basis that if they pay you this money, then you'll be able to offset what it is that you owe them and make your own profit from it, right?
That's exactly what happened. I mean, the account of the managing director, the MD then was a young man, Tom Okeke, because I was in the Senate when all these things happened. I wasn't running any company. But I owned the company, put my family name and my friends, including Dayo, who has been my friend, maybe forever. We're in high school together. So most of the things, not anybody benefited from this transaction. So while I was a little bit shocked, I called the gentleman yesterday morning. What happened? Because as a result of that, I think that was an issue of changing model and changing software. So the bank, I was made to understand, the bank actually traded the ATM for a different brand to a competing company. And they didn't pay the guy. So somebody called me about 6 months ago, and I said, my understanding of this transaction is this. And I said, oh, he didn't realize that. And I said, okay, send me the number of your MD and let me know exactly what the situation is. In the last 6 months, nobody has spoken to me about owing any money. And if you want to publish my name and put my picture on the front page of a newspaper, you should at least call to say, your name is in so list. Are you owing this bank?
Yeah, but so they say that they had issued was it warning now or notice to all their debtors?
Debtors.
The
company didn't owe them, so the company could not be one of the debtors because they were the one owing the company.
Yeah, they were to pay. What I'm saying is, Senator, they were going to pay. They were supposed to pay the company,
yes.
But in the meantime, the company owed them some money, right? In which case, if they paid their money, you will make your money, and the company will make its money and make its profits as well, right?
That was my understanding. They took 12 million naira from them.
Mm-hmm. But they
were owing the company 19 million.
But the company was actually owing them some money.
No, the company borrowed 12 million naira to clear the machines they ordered.
Yes.
And that 12 million naira they had paid the company some money as deposit. So when the goods arrived, the company borrowed 12 million naira to pay the custom duties, and the balance they were owing the company at that point in time was 19,050,000 naira. These are the details I was furnished with yesterday. And so they were supposed to remove their 12 million plus interest from the 19 million naira and pay the balance to the company.
Which was not done.
And they didn't do that.
Yes.
And that is what happened, nothing more. There was no transaction of borrowing, whether somebody borrowed to transact another business. Is within the bank, is the purchase order of the bank.
Well, that hasn't been done, so it will mean that that loan was actually in the bank's loan book. Were you aware of that particular transaction?
I was told.
Yes.
Because I was not the one running the company at the time. I was told by Tom that this is what is going on. And I said, okay, let them pay you your money. He wrote severally to them for them to pay, and he actually discussed. I understand he took the money from Broad Bank of Unity Bank, and he did the transaction with the head office. And they gave him the money based on the strength of the fact that the bank was running the company. So for them to collect their money from the head office as a result of the transaction, and for the bank to pay the balance that they were owing the company became an issue because they kept on changing their management.
So, another thing is this, because your company was also expecting some profit from that transaction. So the fact that the profit was not recorded as at that time should have also worried you as well.
I was worried. It wasn't, as a matter of fact, that was why the whole company had to go under. That's what happened, because I didn't, since I went to the Senate in 2007, I've not had any dealings with that company, even though I registered it ab initio. And of course, because I moved on, when I left the Senate, I designed a different product. I went back to the lottery business.
Is that why AMCON contacted them?
AMCON contacted Tom. Tom told me that AMCON contacted them, and he explained the transaction to AMCON. And AMCON, I think it's their lawyer, one of those collecting. And the man said, oh, these people, you are not owing them. And they left. Yes. It's a very simple, very logical thing. I owe you money. I ask you, please, give me some stuff out of my money and now pay me the balance. It's the bank to bank. It's not as if they brought an LPO from a different entity and different entity did not pay the bank. This is a bank-to-bank transaction. So it's the same Unity Bank.
It's within the bank structure to sort itself out.
Exactly.
But what do you think of the entire process?
No, it's very embarrassing. First,
I mean,
one thing that is very clear,
to recover debt. I mean, having given out notices, warnings, and all of that for several months, and now they're going to...
I think for those owing the banks genuinely, and they were contacted, the minimum is to go there and negotiate. I was not contacted about any facility. Neither did that day know anything about this transaction. I was just a board member. And I look at it, we are like number 63 on the list, owing 81 million. They left the people owing 6.something billion, 3.something billion, 1 billion, 900 million, and all that. And now,
you're saying they didn't publish those ones?
Only one person, well, maybe two of them, no, only one person in the category of the billion. That was Mutalab. They said Mecca was owing them 181 million. I read the whole thing, and I said, these people are just trying to sell the paper, nothing more. And then you now came in to say, even if you had called, if we had owed 81 million naira, which if I do legitimate transaction, it's my responsibility to pay back. This is not, I had borrowed money before. When I was setting up a MasterCard, I borrowed about 200 million in this country. And the money kept on running until, because it took us about 4 years before we issued a single card in this country after we built the switch. The money went to about 680 million naira. We paid everything to the last time. There is no bank that will say I'm owing or my company is owing them. No, I don't owe anybody. I mean, this is a very straightforward transaction. When you want to start being fraudulent, as a bank, the CBN should begin to ask questions on this issue.
So the figure itself is wrong.
I don't know.
They said 81.
I don't even know how they came about 81 because the boy told me he borrowed 12 million from them. I was in a secret. I didn't do anything. I'm not a part of that transaction.
Is it possible that it got up to 81 because of the interest accumulated?
It's not impossible. Then that means the 19 million they were owing the company would have gone to about 100 or 200 million by now by their calculation.